Oh, well, hey there, nerds. Welcome back to another episode of Really Passionate Geeks RPG. To you, I'm joined by two equally, if not more, passionate geeks. I'm Jon Wolheim, and who do we have here as well? We've got KiWhi and Justin. KiWhi, what's up?
Well, thanks for the intro. I am KiWhi, and you will never really know if I'm actually wearing pants today.
Always a good start. And I am Justin, or J Dub, as how's it going, everyone?
It is a great day, J-Dub.
It is a great day to be questionably wearing pants, that's for sure. It is another episode of RPG, the RPG cast, and this week I'm so excited to be the Navi. And for anyone listening for the first time, every single week we use Navi, which is of course our good friend who gives us direction in most, if not all, the Zelda games. And one of us every single week gets to choose the theme and surprise the other people with some sort of crazy, weird experience. And this week we're playing with some of our favorite video game noises. But before we jump into that, we're going to play them and kind of react and talk about our memories associated with them. Let's just open it wide up and talk about sounds in games we love about them, what sounds we kind of remember the most, and what sounds that we hope stick around for a while.
Iconic.
Sounds good.
Yes.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay, let's start out with your favorite video game sound. And take a minute to think about it because you're going to get a lot to come to mind. But your favorite video game sound.
So I think if we're talking a sound bite, you really can't beat my boy Duke Nukem's one-liners throughout the entire series. And if we're talking about anything else, Doom with the greatest soundtrack in-game ever, in my opinion.
Yeah. So good. And legitimately scary at that time. Back in the 90s, that game was pretty intense. You did not want to turn a corner and see one of those floating demons.
Nope.
For me, I am going with the classics. It's me, Mario.
It was good, stayed good, only getting better, right? Yeah. Aging like wine.
The same guy does that Mario voice, for the past 30 years. And he does many other voices too as well, but I'm surprised that, he has a long-standing career with Nintendo.
I'm wondering if he just has the one bite that he recorded 20, 30 years ago, or if he goes in and redoes it every once in a while.
Yeah.
I think his credits, like if you look at his credit list, it's every Mario game and thing ever made. And I have a feeling he probably contracted to do another voice every time so that he can consistently get income, which is good.
Mm-hmm. Until the movie came out, and they're like, nah, we don't need you for this one.
Like we got Chris Pratt, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we can always use a different Mario voice. What else is there? So another famous one would be, I think, fighting games. Some of the best in voice snippets. Of course, Mortal Kombat. Get over here.
Toasty!
Yeah.
I think the one from Mortal Kombat I think about on a daily basis is Flawless Victory.
Flawless victory.
Yeah. I think even to this day, I still will finish conversations or text threads with "finish him."
Finish him. Yeah.
Fatality. The interesting thing about fatalities is they got real weird as the Mortal Kombat franchise continued to evolve. You had they turned into animals. You could do the babyality.
Yeah, that friendship was one.
The friendship. Oh, that one was. I forgot about the friendship one.
Yep.
It was such a surprise because instead of this terrible scorpion taking off his head and then burning you down, he hands you a rose and you say, "Oh, yeah, thank you so much."
Very amicable. I kicked your ass.
I think they were just running out of ideas, right? They were like, "Oh man, how many more times can we do a fatality variation?"
That was a dedication to the Karens out there that were complaining about game violence.
Yeah.
I'm going to pound your face into a bloody pulp, but at the end, here's a rose. Yeah. Thanks for playing.
What's funny with Mortal Kombat 2 is the Sega Genesis versus Super Nintendo wars. You think we have the console wars bad these days, PlayStation versus Xbox and Nintendo Switch. The original console wars, Sega Genesis versus Super Nintendo. And, I was a Super Nintendo fan camp, and so I was winning a lot of the arguments. However, the only argument that I've always got shut down on was Mortal Kombat. Because if you remember, Super Nintendo did not have blood. The blood graphics on Mortal Kombat, and Sega Genesis was just like full on, no censorship with their blood. And they were like, yeah, well, we got Mortal Kombat with blood. And I was
You want to see a spinal cord? Come on down.
You got me.
I got you.
You win this one. You win this round.
And that played right into the hands of all these, maybe teenage folks that are like, oh, you will not censor what I see, right?
Oh, yeah.
No parental advisory stickers on my games.
Yeah.
Well, with that, let's jump in and actually hear some of our favorite sound effects. So with that, are you guys ready for our very first sound?
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Okay. Now, this is one that, Justin, I'm not saying I found this one for you exclusively, but it is one that I think you're going to enjoy the most. Ready?
Okay. Oh. The classic Final Fantasy.
Oh, yeah. What is that? I don't know exactly. Is that like when you find like a hidden item or something?
That's
when
the
you discover
victory.
something?
Victories.
Yep. That's the I won.
Oh, yeah.
I love how too in Final Fantasy Remake, Barrett, he hums it or he sings it within the game too to play homage, to that sound.
Does he really?
Yeah, so it's kind of like breaking that third wall,
That's very Deadpool of him. I love it.
So it's breaking the fourth wall, but that makes me wonder what the third wall is. What is breaking the third
breaking
wall?
the fourth wall. What is the third wall?
The third wall is like maybe realizing you're a video game, and the fourth wall is realizing that there's somebody on the other side of the screen. I don't know.
Other side. Yeah, that makes sense. Sort of like Ralph, Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
the third wall was he recognized he's a video game. And then the fourth wall was recognizing that there's actually people outside in the real world playing his.
It's true.
There you go. Coin it.
Like Free Guy. Or like our Sims movie that we cast last week.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, shout out. Call back. Okay, you guys ready for the next one? This is one of my favorite sounds of all time. And here you go.
Makes my soul happy.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, you have to wait. Yeah, I was going to say you have to wait.
You have to wait 5 minutes.
Somebody somewhere was like, how do we make them not rage when they have to wait for like a solid 3 minutes for their game to start?
And it's
with like the most gentle, passionate music, little wind chimes and everything before you're about to go die at a boss 12 times in a row.
Right, before they wreck you.
And it's terrible when you have to restart, especially when playing RPG games where it is notorious that you have to do multiple save files between a boss because you might get stuck in a world map. And so you would have to constantly restart. And then that was just agony, just waiting for that loading screen to be done.
And that's the worst. Like when you save on accident at like the worst point ever and there's no going back and you're stuck at that point now. Like 2020 was the real life version of like accidentally saving at the worst time ever. And you just have to deal with it and play through.
Yeah.
So
I remember playing Xenogears and with Xenogears, you would have to buy certain parts for your mech. And I remember buying this one mech and it was very high damage, but light armor. And I saved at a point where I couldn't reorganize my mech. And it was at the very last boss. And so I just never finished the game because of that save point.
Just put the controller down.
I'm done with it.
I mean, RPGs take about 80 to 100 hours if you really do all the side quests. And it's just like, no, I'm not playing 70 hours again just to get to that point.
Yeah, no.
Nope.
No, I'm a completionist, but even I have my limits.
Hey, Justin, quick question. What fabric are Mario's pants made out of?
I'm assuming cotton.
Close. Denim, denim, denim.
Dad joke of the year, right?
But they're
there.
not even pants; they're overalls. I can't wait for the comments to come in.
Oh yeah,
No, come on, idiot!
you got canceled,
Come on,
John. You got canceled. They're not pants.
Somebody just unsubscribed.
I'm gonna need an extra life.
Pants, your overalls.
Hey, one up, baby.
Denim, denim, denim.
Yep.
The
There
shrinkage.
we go.
That's more like it.
Shrinkage.
Should we just have this soundboard, like soundboards like this, running all the time? So we just always have it going. Oh, that's.
I feel
love
like-
the power up.
How about this though? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
that was my text tone for a long time.
I definitely use that as a notification at one point in my life, for sure.
Oh yeah. And can we talk about how we abuse Yoshi? Like every time you get on,
For you.
so you literally jump on Yoshi's back and he makes that sound. And
I think it's a metaphor for capitalism, right?
So that sound is just reminiscent of me just beating the crap out of Yoshi. And then also, as you know, there are they made the game where you actually have to sacrifice Yoshi too. The
Yep.
very first time you get Yoshi, you have to sacrifice him. Remember? Because you have to
Drop him down the pit and just jump off.
Yeah, you have to use a running start on Yoshi and then use him as like a catapult and then you sacrifice him to the bottomless pit.
For the greater
You gotta
good.
Thanks, Yoshi.
What if there was like a model in place now on the Switch where if a kid did that enough or just too many times, it would like let the parent know, like, you should maybe keep an eye on this.
Yoshi just like moves. Like every time you try to jump on him, he just moves out of the way.
Nope.
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 One too many sacrifices, my friend.
Mario.
Oh, there you go.
Mario.
There we go.
Man, these are good. It's a me, Mario.
Princess. Nintendo.
No, I haven't heard that one.
You can't get
Be
any more
Princess Nintendo?
stereotypical.
Can I be Princess Nintendo from now on? Come on.
Let me see.
Okay. Here's a classic one that we've all heard a million times. Especially if you grew up in arcades.
Oh yeah.
This is Pac-Man.
Just perfection.
Well, it's immersive. You're right.
When
there.
you had to walk into the arcade and you had to hear it from the back of the arcade, you had to know, like, oh, there's something new back there, or that's the one that's getting my attention.
And can we talk about the sticky floors? You know, the 70s, 80s carpet.
Oh yeah.
And they're always the same floors, the carpet too, right? It's just like a purple, with lines, with yellow lines on a purple carpet.
Yeah.
Until you go to that like
Purple, yellow, and
nicer
green were the
arcade at like
colors.
the good mall, and then it had the floor that looked like those solo cups, right? Or like the
90s
turquoise, the purple.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
The-
I remember the 90s cup with the blue spray.
Just like spray paint or something, like just a rub of color with like some squiggly lines going through it.
yeah,
It's like you're
Very
walking
Saved
on
by
a
the
Lisa
Bell.
Frank binder.
totally
Yeah.
Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
That
100%.
opening of Saved by the Bell is definitely those cups.
Wow. Yeah, you know what? Maybe we'll release an accompanying Spotify collaborative playlist that people can jump in on. We'll call it Arcades Hit Different Now. And it'll be all like remixes, of which there are trillions. Every time I typed in a sound effect, I'd find that somebody had remixed all of this, and it's actually pretty good. So, some of these Pac-Man remixes and the Zelda remixes slap, as the youth would say.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you see like in our opener, I get those 8 or 16-bit soundtracks of like popular songs. I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, before the Pikachu came, that could have been anything. It sounded like somebody stepped on a cat.
Right.
Yeah, let's squeak.
Or
That might
like
have
a
been the
really
inspiration
bad
for the
porno.
original Pikachu.
That's
This is definitely like Pokemon Snap era. Like that's what I'm getting.
Pikachu. Yeah, so Pokemon Snap, for anybody who doesn't remember that, N64, you literally were just on like a sort of car, and your whole goal was to try to get pictures of these Pokemon. You see
Yeah, I
that?
would judge your pictures.
That mechanic came back in Dave the Diver. I mean, I'm sure it's been back a million times since, but I was thinking about that when playing Dave the Diver. I was like, is this Pokemon Snap right now?
Dave the Diver. I don't think I've played that one yet, actually.
Oh, it's a great indie game.
We might have to edit that
It
out.
sold millions of
Otherwise,
copies within its
Yeah.
first.
I mean, anything you can reference from Pokemon Snap, I'll play.
So Dave the Diver, you are essentially diving for sushi ingredients for your sushi business. So there's a lot of different elements. It's very simple in concept, but it's super addicting.
Definitely walking into a shopping mall and going to Dave's Sushi.
Yeah.
yeah. Shopping mall. Not a good mall either.
No,
Gosh, can we
it's
talk
the gas
about
station.
Can we talk about the malls? I mean, I love the food courts at the malls because those are usually where the arcades are, right? So you have the food court usually in the upstairs, second floor of the mall. And then right next to the food court, you have your arcade. My arcade, living on the East Coast, was called Aladdin's Castle.
Oh, wow.
Very epic.
Yeah.
Just the sound of it. You know, the food court is where I first discovered Cinnabon. And that might have been where Cinnabon got its foothold into the world, is the mall food court.
100%. Oh, yeah. Because people are already there making good decisions. And so
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like, you know what? We're going to capitalize on those great decisions.
I'm going to get this $8 cinnamon roll that's bigger than my head and my caloric intake for the week. And then I'm going to go play Pac-Man or NFL Blitz.
You enjoy buying those hammer pants at Montgomery Ward and or J.C. Penney's? Well, fantastic. We've got a 14,000 calorie cinnamon roll with your name on it.
My thing
And speaking of sounds, you would always know. Okay, wait, hold on. To backtrack for a second, why was the food court always on the second floor? Mine was too.
Because you had to go there, and so they designed it so that you'd have to walk past a bunch of other stores to get to the food.
Those tricky bastards.
makes
They
sense.
got me.
My thing was getting the free samples, especially like the
Free
Chinese food.
samples.
They would have it under the toothpicks. Free sample. And
I mean, I go to
when you're a
Costco
teenager
for
with
that.
a $20 bill, and that's going to last you the whole day. You tend to walk by and get free samples throughout the hour, every hour.
Wait. Is this an East Coast mall thing that the West Coast didn't share? There were no free samples in West Coast malls for me growing up.
It might have been. I didn't grow up on the West Coast. I mean, I grew up on the East
Just-
Coast. I'm living in the West Coast now.
Security guards trying to kick you out if you're loitering for too long. That's what we had.
Loitering. Ooh, there's a word you don't hear a lot of anymore.
Woo! Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. All right, you ready for the next one? This one's going to be near and dear. I think, KiWhi, this one's a little bit more for you. Ready?
Right.
Round one.
One.
Yeah.
Final
Yes.
round. Fight.
I need.
So this sound right here was the one that for me echoes through my dreams from my time in arcades, because no matter where you were in the arcade, you would hear
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
right.
Yep.
And I think they actually
can
used the
definitely hear
same
that.
sound for the elephants, right? In Dawson's.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I could.
Yeah.
This
Those are
is
iconic
this is 100% before they had budgets to get real audio effects. And there's just Steve in the back audio room trying to make his best elephant
Yeah.
sound.
Just yeah.
Yoga Rain.
Oh, that one's a classic.
I need E Honda doing his attack.
His annoying attack.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know when he does his 1,000 palm punch. Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah.
talking about. Yeah, because he just goes, yeah.
Okay. Let's go back to Stanley again. What is she saying? Is it king size kick?
I think a spinning bird kick. It might be one of those things where you just hear whatever somebody said most recently.
Yep.
Maybe it says shining charm kick. No, it's no. This one's hard to misinterpret.
Sonic Boom.
That's right. It's my boy Guile.
Oh man, you gotta love that Guile player that just always stayed crouched and just was just waiting to do the crescent kick or flash kick. That is,
Hadouken.
but that right there, that one.
Classic.
Oh yeah.
Classic. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't put some of these in the Street Fighter movie with, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and that just would have been perfect.
Yeah, my weekly rewatch of that movie, I've noticed it's not in there. This is so weird.
Although Bison, the character that plays Bison, right, from the Addams Family,
Oh
just
yeah.
nailed it. I mean, he did not have to go that hard. He just went all in.
Bison with his head stomp move. Okay,
Oh,
this one's a little bit more niche, and I'm not sure if everyone remembers this game, Contra.
yeah,
Oh
Contra.
my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh, the 8-bit explosion, whatever.
oh yeah.
Wow.
And then of course the sound you heard the most.
Yeah. Unless you use your cheat code.
It's like the longest "Hey, you died" little chime that there could ever be.
It's super hard to
Seriously.
beat that game without the 30 live Konami cheat code.
The
Oh,
old school, the original unlimited lives code. Would you guys say that was the first cheat code that you learned?
Oh, you know,
Maybe.
oh man, I don't know, because
I
some of the
remember-
first
I do
cheat
remember-
codes I used were in like Age of Empires, right? Give me all of that free wood. Give me the little mech
Right.
that runs around and shoots everybody. Like those were the
Right.
first cheat codes I started
StarCraft.
getting.
Diablo, yeah, definitely cheat codes were known. But yeah, that because Contra was on Nintendo, right? Or was it on Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think it was
both.
on NES.
Both, technically. Super Contra though was my jam. That
Yeah.
was so good.
Oh, that
Remember that
one I
one?
hated.
I think that was at the very beginning, right?
So,
Yeah.
the first stage.
Yeah.
Oh, Japan went hard on that intro.
See what I'm saying? They
So-
didn't pull any punches with the sound.
Not fooling around.
I love how they mimic the inspiration for the two characters were Rambo and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
100%.
Ooh.
You just look at him. Yeah, he got a cigar in his mouth.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
the Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Rambo.
I think in the 80s, if you were wearing a tank top and you didn't have a cigar in your mouth, you were instantly arrested, regardless of your
Yeah.
age.
Yeah, that makes total sense. 100%.
100%. Okay, our last one it's for, perhaps an audience that's not quite of the same generational advancement that we are, if you will. Right? And it's probably one that you've noted.
Oh, yeah. OG Fortnite.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think that was
One of
the
the
original
very
like
first
floss
dances
dance, the
out there.
backpack kid dance, right?
That was like any dance you did, I think, right? Whenever you had the emoji set up that you would go through. Or the emoji, the emote.
Old school.
Yeah, it don't get any better than the OG Fortnite. I haven't played recently because it's not my cup of tea anymore, but it had its day.
It's getting canceled.
Goodbye, everybody. I enjoyed my time.
You must play Fortnite.
Mandatory participation.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
we
I'm
we
the
need
same
to,
way too. I mean, I got into Fortnite when I first heard about the game. Funny enough, I didn't even know about the battle royale part of it. I just knew that it was a survivor type of game because Fortnite, that was originally what it was trying to present itself, was that you're fending your fort, you're building a fort against these zombie-like monsters, and I thought that was cool. And so I did play the solo campaign, the PvE campaign, a lot when I first got Fortnite, and then somehow Battle Royale just skyrocketed.
Oh, yeah. Well, and then Apex and all those games followed suit right with it. And I think it was really a catalyst. I mean, that's one thing Fortnite really has to its advantage is it did catalyze that whole style and that whole genre. I mean, Battle Royale is a nightmare for me because I don't have the patience. If I'm jumping online, I want to play like 4 or 5 matches real quick before my kid starts crying.
yeah, Fortnite came like they had the right timing because PUBG had really broken that open, and that was an interesting era back in 17 into 18, right? Like it was really fun watching Shroud and Ninja, Dr. Disrespect, several others like really come into hit the media hard and then define this sort of modern mainstream streamer. And then of course here comes Fortnite and just busted open. It brought the market, I think, into like the early adoption, like younger world at the exactly perfect time. Made it accessible because there weren't PUBG was good, but Fortnite just was a whole other level.
Yeah, I think that's where everyone recognizes you, Tyler or Ninja.
Mhm.
They recognize him from the Halo days. They recognize him from PUBG, but his popularity really didn't skyrocket in Fortnite. I mean, I was following, of course, Tyler when he went to Halo, and Halo really missed the boat on that. And I mean, I'm really surprised because they were dominant. If you think about it, in the '90s, Unreal Tournament,
Oh yeah.
Tribes, Halo tournaments were the pioneer tournaments. They were kind of the first tournaments, really, in shooting competitions, first-person shooters, third-person shooters.
hmm
And Halo, and even Unreal Tournament, I'm just really surprised they really haven't capitalized on a fun game where they can continue to grow it, sort of like Call of Duty. And Fortnite just took over, and everyone just started copying.
I think they stayed in their lane, right? They had something that worked, and they're like, oh, we're going to stick with first person, team versus team or PvP, and I mean they killed it. That was always my favorite anyway. I mean, I have some seriously great memories of just jamming on Halo on Xbox. I mean, I played all the others, right? I played Oddworld, I played Stranger's Wrath, I played some of those titles, obviously Dead or Alive, some of the fighting games, but just Halo always took the cake. It was always Halo for me with Xbox.
Always
I never had an Xbox.
Or Gears of War. Gears of War. I cannot forget
yeah.
Gears of War.
So I didn't have an Xbox. That was always a PlayStation because of Final Fantasy. But I would go to my friend's house just to play Halo on their Xbox because it is an Xbox exclusive, just like how Final Fantasy was a PlayStation.
So you guys, do you play sticks or are you like WASD? Are you all keyboard or you guys play on the sticks?
Keyboard and mouse. Yeah, the sticks are just. I definitely am more comfortable on keyboard and mouse and more successful, I would say.
So I was going to say, is it just me that plays inverted? So every time I go to my buddy's house to play, I have to go through and dig through his settings to find out how to invert my controller. And
oh man, do you remember the ultimate version of that, which was when you had set up your GoldenEye controller like the way that you wanted to, and then you go to somebody's house and you're like, "Oh, I'll play," and you're in the match before you even realize it, and you don't even know how to walk.
Yeah,
and you're like, I thought you were good at this game.
Hey, you remapped everything.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Yeah, my brother's
there are some
notorious.
competitive players who don't even want to use the mouse, and they're playing against other keyboard and mouse players. I mean, they do get that benefit of aim assist because you're on controller. That's why some people like it. I know Nick Merckx, he definitely plays on controller all the time.
Oh yeah, that's my jam.
So speaking of streamers like Nick Merckx, this weekend we did this cool symposium on neuroscience in games, and we started talking about sports games and the sort of like what happens in your brain when you're playing them. And it got me thinking a little bit about sports games and their influence on the world. And then it actually made me think a little bit about video games and how very mainstream they've become. And it got me to do a little research on Sketch, which, of course, by now we all know. Hey, brother! Special teams,
hey, brother,
plays, special players, and it's so interesting.
Up, by the way,
what's
really
that? Oh yeah,
he's really blowing up because NFL is getting him on commercials. He is starting to show up.
You see
on different
players
feeds.
coming off the field, right? Going special teams.
Oh man, talk about a marketing tactic that just blew up. No one expected it.
What I'm hearing is we need a catchphrase, so we just have to repeat that all the time.
Yeah,
but it's super cool seeing that guy blow up, and now it's everywhere,
Yeah.
and it came from games.
Yeah.
He started playing the football game. I don't know which version of Madden, but he just started playing that with his Titans jersey.
It only takes one, and then you blow up, right?
If the Titans don't have that dude, like a special box devoted just to him yet, someone needs to write an email.
I love it too because his persona, it is a persona. And I've seen videos of where he actually naturally talks, actually having a conversation. And I was just, you ever remember watching the Blair Witch movie?
Yeah.
The Blair Witch movie. So the Blair Witch movie, when you seen the commercials, it was all home video on VHS tape. And the time when you seen these commercials, you're like, oh my God, this is a real event happening. We get to witness a murder.
Right.
We watch it, and it's just like we're scared to death because like I can't believe that actually happened in real life. And then the very next day on MTV Awards, right? They all showed up. Everyone, you can see it on everyone's face in the audience, and even my friends and I, we were like, we thought you were dead.
You're supposed to be, yeah, you got mauled by an invisible witch presence.
Yeah, I thought there was really a witch they got killed by. And it's the same way with Sketches. His persona is the same way with Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah.
Yeah, big persona for sure.
But then when he takes off his costume, and you can see him playing golf, and it's just like, wow, this is a totally different person.
Yeah, does he still wear the headset though, even when he's out of character?
No. But he's still tall.
KiWhi, you should know I did find a Duke Nukem soundboard, but you can't put. I can't find a single one we can play on here and not get NC-17 rated on across every podcast that there is. And now, but yeah, there's a lot on here.
He's got some iconic one-liners. I mean, some of them are definitely not appropriate, right? But that's what made him so good.
That's what made him great.
0% of them are appropriate.
I remember kicking ass and chewing bubblegum, maybe. That was about it.
I mean, think about Metal Gear Solid and StarCraft, right?
Oh,
so what was the scenario with them? With Metal Gear Solid and with Tychus from StarCraft, they both had cigars. They were both smoking. And the Karens in the 90s really, they shut it down. They actually had it removed. In some cases, the marketing was removed. They just went haywire. And I love it now that they brought back the smoking to Tychus, and they brought back the smoking, for Metal Gear. So it's just kind of like, I think at first they were just really just going hardcore.
It was like rap music, right? They had to find something to latch onto and attack. I know Metal Gear Solid still has one of the most iconic sounds that they use in memes and GIFs and everything these days, and that's when you're detected when you're in stealth mode. Yeah. And it's like, whoom, right? It's just like a high-pitched sound, and the little exclamation check goes above your head.
A lot of games copied it. And I think a lot of games copied the cardboard box technique too as well. The cardboard box that you would have to move while you're underneath the cardboard box, and a lot of games actually have mimicked that, whether it be a cardboard box or whether it be a carcass of an animal, and then you're in Ghost of Tsushima or something, or you're in this type of atmosphere that you're trying to move around in stealth mode. I love it.
Did you hear that? Did you catch it?
Yeah.
There it is.
That's that sound, that iconic sound.
Hey. Oh yeah. I still play that in my head when I'm like sneaking down at night to get cookies.
I could just say that KiWhi creeping downstairs, looking around, passes his stealth check, opens the refrigerator, pulls out that sleeve of Chewy Chips Ahoy, turns, and there's his wife.
Yeah.
and then it becomes like one of those quick reaction cut scenes where I'm trying to run away and get up the stairs while I'm shoving cookies in my mouth, like press square to dodge.
And then
you gotta start over.
Then you get to your room and you finish the sleeve and you just hear.
That's right.
Which, by the way, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth does have that stealth technique. When you're trying to get your first chocobo, you have to hide behind these certain things and not get spotted. I love the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth because there's so many mini games. If you ever play the game, there's so many mini games, and it does take you in this open world. I think it's really one of the best games out there for Final Fantasy. And if you never played Final Fantasy or any Final Fantasy before, I think it's a great game to get into because it is a standalone game. You don't need to play the remake. Encouraged, but you don't need to. It's not forced upon.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these newer Final Fantasies too, they're totally standalone, right? Like the whole 13 saga and everything, right? They're off on their own. No? What's that smile?
Yeah. It's starting to make me feel old. Like someone was just talking about how the new WWE WrestleMania was number 40. And I was like, you gotta be. I remember WrestleMania 10 not long ago. Like, what happened? How did we get to WrestleMania 40 already?
They're dropping titles as soon as a new wrestler comes into the ring. They're making a new game already.
Yeah,
Monetized.
that was actually
Yeah,
one of my favorite
buddy.
arcades too. Was the WrestleMania arcade, the 4-player action where you had the Ultimate Warrior.
Hmm. I think that's why I liked NFL Blitz so much. It was basically WrestleMania with a football.
Yeah, it was
Well said.
NFL
Yeah.
Blitz,
NBA,
NBA
anybody remember
Jam.
NBA Jam?
Yeah,
Oh
NBA Jam.
yeah,
Fire.
You're on fire, and that's where you're on fire. Like Overwatch, you're on fire. You know,
yeah.
you're on fire.
I'll take us home.
Take us home. Take us home.
All right. Let me country roads. Take me home.
You know what? When I think of Take Us Home, I'm thinking of this old school movie where the monster is under the bed. Do you remember that movie? And it's
Oh.
Michael Keaton.
Oh man, Little Monsters.
Little
Right?
Monsters.
Little
Yeah.
Monsters.
Kevin,
Where the purple guy comes out from under the bed and he's got the horns.
Oh
and
my God, that was such a
Dude.
classic movie.
when he catches him with like the Doritos, like while he's sleeping, he lines up the Doritos into a little trap to catch the guy. Did you know that's what's his name from Deal or No Deal? The bald guy?
No.
Howie Mandel?
Howie Mandel. That's
Howie
Howie
Mandel.
Mandel. Plays the monster.
Mandel. Yeah. Also, the trap. Let's talk about the plastic wrap on the toilet seat. I think every parent hated that because we all, as kids, I know I tried it. I tried it on my brother.
Definitely.
I put
Yeah.
plastic wrap on the toilet seat, and he was like, "Mom!"
That's
he
a
got
classic.
so mad at me.
That's a must.
All right,
goes-
take us home, John. What do we got? We got about 5 minutes here to wrap up.
All right, and there we have yet another episode of the Really Passionate Geeks. I hope everybody enjoyed this trip down memory lane through by way of our ears, and hopefully this wasn't an epic fail and more of a
Flawless victory.
Yes.
You got that one on standby.